Hi friends, welcome back to Parnika tutorials. In this video, I want to discuss about conditional rendering in React. So I sincerely request everyone to watch the complete video for better understanding. In React, you can distinct components that encapsulate behavior you need. You can render only some part of the code depending on the state of your application. Suppose let's consider that you have a certain condition. If the condition is true, you want to render some output. If the condition is false, you want to render some other output. That can be achieved with the help of conditional rendering in React. So conditional rendering in React works the same way as conditional statements in JavaScript. In JavaScript, you have the conditional statements, right? Like if else. So if certain condition is true, the statements which are there in the conditional block will be executed. If the condition is false, the statements which are there in the else block will be executed. The same way, the conditional rendering also can be done in React. And remember one important point. Conditional rendering in React can be achieved in 4 different ways: using if else, using the element variables, ternary conditional operator, short circuit operator. So as I said earlier, we can achieve the conditional rendering in React using 4 ways. The first way is using if else, the second way is using the element variables, the third way is ternary conditional operator, the fourth way is short circuit operator. So first let me discuss how can we achieve the conditional rendering in React using if else. So to do that one, I will go to the Visual Studio. In the components, I will right click it and I will create a new file and I will say conditional ex.js. Let me press enter. In this JS file, I want to create a class component. So using React snippet, I can create a class component. If I want to create a class component using React snippet, I need to type RCE and press enter. And before the class, there is an export keyword is there, you can remove it. Now you can say we have a class component called conditional ex. In this one, I want to display welcome to Jagadeesh. So I will write welcome to Jagadeesh. Let me save this one. In the app.js, I will import the conditional ex. So I will write from conditional ex from components conditional ex, and then I need to have the conditional ex self-closing tag, and here I need to save this one. Then click on the terminal, new terminal, and then write cd example1 and then let me write npm start. Now you can see we got the output as welcome to Jagadeesh. In the Visual Studio, in conditional ex.js, I want to have one constructor. So if I want to have a constructor using React snippet, I need to type rconst. So before the render method, I need to type rconst and press enter. Now you can see we have a constructor. Now in this one, I want to create one state property called is logged in, and I will assign a value called false to it. In the render method, I want to have welcome Jagadeesh, welcome to Siri. Let me have the div tag and then let me copy this one and paste it here, and also I will have one more div tag and I will write welcome Siri. Here also I will remove the 2. Save this one, go to the browser and refresh it. Now you can see we got the output as welcome Jagadeesh, welcome Siri. I want the message to be conditionally rendered based on the state property called is logged in. If the is logged in is true, then I want to display welcome Jagadeesh. Else I want to display welcome Siri. If I want to do it using the if else, in the render method, I will have if is a condition statement. So I will write if. In this one I will write this dot state dot is logged in. If it is so, I want to return welcome Jagadeesh. So I will open the curly braces and I will write return, and I will open the div tag and I will write welcome Jagadeesh. Else I want to return welcome Siri. So return div tag and then I will write welcome Siri. Let me close the render method. Entire code which is there in the return, let me remove it, and let me remove this one also. Let me save the conditional ex.js, and now let me go to the browser. Now you got the output as welcome Siri. If you want to verify why we got welcome Siri, is in the is logged in, you have assigned a value as false. So if this condition is false, if the if condition is false, the statements which are there in the else block will be executed. So that's why you have returned welcome Siri. So we got the output as welcome Siri. If I assign this value as true and save the program, you will get the output as welcome Jagadeesh. You can verify here. So you have an if condition. If the condition is true, the statements which are there in the if block will be executed. If the condition is false, the statements which are there in the else block will be executed. Now you can ask me, can we use the if else condition on the message being displayed? If you look at here in the render method, you have the if a certain condition. If the condition is true, then you are returning the welcome Jagadeesh. Else you are returning the welcome Siri. That if else, I want to have it on the message itself. If else statements does not work in the JSX, because JSX is a just syntactic sugar for functional calls and object construction. Adding if else statements within the JSX is not valid. Now let me discuss how can we achieve the conditional rendering using element variables. In this approach, we can use JavaScript variables to store elements. So this will also help you to conditionally render the entire component or only part of the component as well. So in this method, we will have one variable. In that variable we can store the element. So in the render method, I will create one variable called message. So I will write let message. If this dot state dot is logged in, then I will write message is equal to div welcome Jagadeesh and close the div tag. Else I will write message is equal to. Then you can return the message. So return div and then curly braces. Inside that one you can provide the message. So what you are doing here is that you have a variable called message. Now if the condition is true, message is consists of welcome Jagadeesh, else the message is consists of welcome Siri. So if the condition is true, you will get the output as welcome Jagadeesh. If the condition is false, you will get the output as welcome Siri. Now in the is logged in state, you have assigned true. So the if condition is true. In that case, message will have welcome Jagadeesh. That message you are returning. So you will get the output as welcome Jagadeesh. If you want to verify, let me save the conditional ex.js app.js. Let me go to the browser. You can see we got the output as welcome Jagadeesh. To verify it, I will assign the is logged in as false. The if condition is false, the message will have welcome Siri. So that you are returning. So you should get the output as welcome Siri. Now you can observe we got the output as welcome Siri. So using element variables also we can do conditional rendering in React. So till now we have discussed two approaches. One is using if else and using element variables. Now let me discuss the third approach, which is ternary conditional operator. This approach is simple and it can be used inside the JSX. When we are discussing about the if else, I clearly mentioned you that if else we cannot use inside the JSX, whereas the ternary conditional operator is a simple approach and also it can be used inside the JSX. Let me go to the Visual Studio. In the render method, I will remove the entire code and then I will write return. I will have an expression like I will write this dot state dot is logged in. I will have a question mark. So ternary operator, what you will have? You will have an expression 1 question mark, expression 2, expression 3. If the expression 1 is true, then expression 2 will be evaluated. If expression 1 is false, then expression 3 will be evaluated. So I have written this dot state dot is logged in, and then I have written div tag. Inside that one I will write welcome Jagadeesh, and then I will have the column. I will open the div tag and I will write welcome Siri. Let me close the render method. Let me save this one and let me save the app.js. Now you can see we got the output as welcome Siri. Why we got the output as welcome Siri? The is logged in state has a value called false. So this expression E became false. If the expression 1 is false, then expression 2 will be evaluated. If the expression 1 is true, then expression 2 will be evaluated. So I have given a value called true for the is logged in state. So this dot state dot is logged in now becomes true. If the expression 1 is true, then expression 2 will be evaluated. So you will get welcome Jagadeesh. If you want to verify, let me save the conditional ex.js. Now you can go to the browser, you can verify we got the output as welcome Jagadeesh. Now let me discuss the approach number 4, which is a short circuit operator approach. This approach is just a specific case of ternary operator approach. It is like something or nothing. When you want to render either something or nothing, then you can use the short circuit approach. I will tell you a simple example. If is logged in state is true, then I want to display welcome Jagadeesh. If it is false, I don't want to display anything, then I can use the short circuit approach. So the short circuit approach is something or nothing. If the condition is true, then you want to display something. If the condition is false, you don't want to display anything, then you can use the short circuit approach. So in the render method, I will return this dot state dot is logged in and div welcome Jagadeesh. Look at this one. You have is logged in. Now what is the value which is assigned to the state called is logged in? True. So now this is true and welcome Jagadeesh is also true. So you have the logical end. The first condition is true and the second one is also true. Then it will return welcome Jagadeesh. You will get the output as welcome Jagadeesh. If you want to verify, let me save the conditional ex.js. Go to the browser. You can see welcome Jagadeesh. If you could not able to find any difference, let me write welcome to Parnika tutorials. Let me save the conditional ex.js. Go to the browser and you can verify we got the output as welcome to Parnika tutorials. If I assign the is logged in state to the value called false, then this first one itself is a false. In the logical end, if the first condition is false, the second condition will not be evaluated. So nothing is being returned. So if I save the conditional ex.js and then go to the browser, you can see we did not get any output. So whenever you want to render something or nothing, then you can use the short circuit approach. I hope you have understood about what is the use of conditional rendering in React. What are the ways you can do the conditional rendering in React? There are 4 approaches. One is using if else, using the element variables, ternary conditional operator, and then 4th one is short circuit approach. If you still have any doubts related to this concept, feel free to ask me in the comment section. I will try to clear your doubts as early as possible. Thank you for watching the complete video. Have a nice day.